Okay, so I am super excited to do this house tour, and I'll tell you why. This is a house that I found for my client friend and interior designer, Gillian Lefkowitz. And she completely renovated it and has turned it into the most amazing house. Follow me. First of all, the whole house was pink, but what she did was she picked another pink and she just did the door. So follow me. Hi, Gillian. Hello. Nice to see you. Okay, so I am so excited to show this house. Everything in this house is beyond. First of all, can we start here?
Yes. This originally had a little closet and a hallway, but I realized that wasn't a great entry to a house. So we filled this in, but we kept all the original 40s molding throughout the house.
Amazing. And where did you get this?
Facebook Marketplace, and I'm literally obsessed with this. It was like it was made for here. It's from the 80s, and it's green marble, and I absolutely love it, and it fits perfectly.
And of course, it was probably really, really cheap, was it?
It was like a couple $100,
$200. Now, I'm pretty sure you can get these in like Restoration Hardware, and they're thousands, right?
Thousands, but also more like thousands on First Dibs.
Okay.
Because it's all vintage, my house.
Amazing.
I don't believe in restoration.
What about...
So this is another Facebook Marketplace I got for $50, and I see them on Facebook Marketplace for like $3,500, $5,000.
And
it's a very beautiful, Chinese.
Now, did you keep the front door and just paint it?
Yeah, I refurbished everything, so I kept the door because it's a beautiful heavy door and it has this little peekaboo. And the original color of the house was pretty much this tone of pink, but completely dilapidated.
Yeah.
So I wanted to really honor the house and do the pink and white vibe throughout.
I love it.
Yeah.
What about this light fixture?
This is Etsy. I mean, so much of my lighting I found on Etsy, and this is not vintage, but it looks vintage, and I absolutely love it. And it's so much cheaper than things you would find on like First Dibs or something.
What would be the price of
that? Was probably like $450, which is not dirt cheap, but it looks like $1 million.
Okay, as she said, she kept all of these beautiful moldings all around it. And the interesting thing about this house was Gillian had never done her own renovation.
No.
In fact, done one of mine.
This is my first house.
And this is her first house. So she was very worried about, am I going to be able to do it? And I said, you do it for everyone else, of course.
Yes, and it was very stressful, though. I'm not going to lie, it was very stressful because I had a very tight budget. And I didn't have the same budget as a client. But I added all these bookshelves.
Amazing.
Which really brought a lot to the house, I feel like, because I'm obsessed with my books and my objects.
Yeah.
And I really didn't know where they were all going to go. I redid all the windows that I had to. Absolutely everything had to be done. And every single thing had to be done.
Did you use Milgard?
No, they are Lincoln, which is the most reasonable, and they are fantastic.
Interesting, because you've got Milgard, you've got Marvin, you've got Weather Shield. So you actually went for the lowest.
I went for the lowest because I had to.
Can I say something? It looks as good as Marvin and all the other things.
100%. They're beautiful.
I also, as you know, renovate homes. This has a nice thin, what do we call that?
Well, I kept the 40s original vibe. I wanted everything to feel authentic to this house, but just a modern twist to it.
Okay, so let's just talk about some of the things. And one of the things I really love about your style is you are bold.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this color. What color is this?
Because this is like an umber color, and because I'm a painter, like an umber, I don't know what the right word is, but as a painter I always use this color for underbelly of the paint. I just love it. It's like a rich gold, and I wanted everything to kind of be tone on tone, but like vibrant. And I was very specific about wanting an all very crisp white house, which I know a lot of people are like, that's not trendy, that's not cool now.
Yeah.
And I really don't give a shit. I just think it's important. Like, I wanted everything to feel light and bright and cheery and bring in the color with all my objects, rugs, and other things, but not the walls.
Right.
Even though I love that look, having different colors, but this house was too small for that.
Yeah.
I wanted it to just feel open and bright. That was my goal.
I love that. And as you say, I mean, your objects and your art is beyond.
So a lot like these. So these chairs I got, my sister found for me from Chloe Collects, who's a genius at finding things. She has single-handedly found me probably half of the things in my house, just FYI. Again, I bought these for $200 each, and then I found them on First Dibs for $8 grand, 10 grand, because they're like some crazy mid-century designer.
Where did you get these beautiful picture lights up here?
Those are from Visual Comfort, I think it's called.
Visual Comfort.
Yeah, it used to be called something else. And these are like my favorite because they look vintage, but they're not. But they have that unlacquered brass, which is my favorite.
So obviously your sister, Chloe Collects, I'm going to do a walkthrough of her house so you can see that as well. But she has her store in her garage and she has a lot of this type of stuff.
Tons of, like, I got this travertine block from her, which is one of my favorite things. This is something I found at an estate sale for like $100. It's one of my favorite things. And with the matching,
it's insane,
side table. I know. I mean, both of us have, I mean, my sister's a genius and I have a gift for it too. Like, we just know how to find stuff.
And I'm really good at spending money. So I can go on to, I really like it. Like, I hadn't even tells me all the stuff.
Yeah.
So things like this,
those were like inherited from my mom, who had a massive collection of many, many, many amazing things. And when she passed away, I didn't own a house, so I had to be very specific about what I was going to keep.
Yeah.
I wish I had kept more.
I know.
But in this life, you can't hold on to everything. But all these photos are from my parents' collection. They met on a schooner in the 60s and the Bahamas. And so their love story is all connected to boats. And every year my dad would give my mom a folk art boat that he would find. And so I kept all the boats except for maybe 2.
That's so
I know. We did this all. This is Delta Swell, Donna, and she is
incredible,
brilliant. And I love all her window coverings. Again, I went really simple. Like, as much as I wanted to have fun with that stuff, I just thought, keep it like a white canvas.
I love it.
And then just add everything else in. And and like the rugs I've had my whole life, though. These are all deco Chinese rugs that are from my mom as well. This whole room was based on this rug, basically.
Okay, so now we're coming in now. Now, actually, as far as renovating this was concerned,
this was a massive, massive renovation. I mean, when this inspired my kitchen. And this actually inspired like my whole house because I'm obsessed with mid-century houses. This isn't quite mid-century, but I went with this vibe basically.
Yeah.
But also I love the color of it. And then even though it's not right next to the kitchen, it fully connects with the stone that I picked in there, which will go in there, yeah.
So here you were telling me you got this on Ventura Boulevard at Pampa for like $3,000.
Yes.
For Los Angeles,
which was like a liquidation sale, but it's honestly, I have other couch makers who make this couch and it's $20,000, and I'm not exaggerating.
No.
$20,000 for this size.
And what about these chairs?
These are from Adam, my best friend. Who somehow I inherited these along the way or borrowed them, and then I've just kept them over the years.
And I'm like, you made all these pillows out of...
I had all the pillows made, meaning I designed them, yeah. So this is really important because this whole room was wood paneled 70s.
It was tragic.
Dark and miserable. It did have a beautiful bar here, which everyone wanted me to keep.
I wanted her to keep it.
But the reason why I did it, and I'm going to be really clear, is that it's huge. And then this was just sliding doors. And then this was very low ceilings that we raised. So I wanted everything to be lifted and opened up. And there was no way I could keep the bar. And also, This is my most favorite thing that I own in the universe that was my parents', and it represents everything to me. And so she needed her own spot, basically.
And one of the things, if you ever come to hire my lovely friend Gillian, who is so talented, is she really understands space. And that's what I love. For me personally, I would have kept the bar because I like a cocktail. But actually, the way she's done it is brilliant because the focus points are twofold. They are one, the amazing fireplace, and they're two, the garden, which we're going to go into in a minute, which kind of is just mind-blowing and breathtaking when you see what it looked like before. But so, I mean, that's one of the great reasons to get an interior designer, and certainly the ones I work with, which is Gillian, is they know how to get a great deal. They understand space. They understand color. I love how Gillian is bold in her choices, but very smart, because actually if this house
was an empty canvas when you take all this stuff out. So it's very sellable. But I think the key is that you have to honor whatever house you buy and not fit it to trends. Because like I look at all these amazing houses that are dark colors and this, and I love that, but it didn't fit this house. The black window frames didn't fit this house. I had to just go with what it felt right for here, not just what looks good in a magazine. Or
okay, I'm going to ask a few more questions. Rugs,
Etsy. I'm telling you, wow. I don't want everyone to know, but I mean, this probably costs me like $1,200, but if you were to buy it from wherever,
$12,000.
Yeah,
LA.
For this size, especially because it's a huge one.
So here's another gorgeous thing that she found on Soho Home. Love it. It's just
This was Gina Gershon's. That then was my sister's. That then was mine. And you can't even buy rosewood furniture anymore because it's extinct. But anyway, so I love this piece.
Okay, so let's talk about this. Who makes these windows?
So this was Catalina, and this was a big expense, though. I'm not going to lie about this one because it's like, not that I would ever lie about anything, but I'm just saying this was like probably 12 grand. But the thing is, this is the heart and soul of the house. Like when you walk in, I felt like I needed to open. So originally it had like sliding door, like whatever you call them, sliders that were like this low. The ceilings were low. I just was like, it's so crazy. Nothing is opening up to the yard. And he had it. And this was just peeling paint and concrete. So I put the flagstone. I did the fake grass, which I didn't want to do, but I had to do this all in stages. So
to do it, but it actually...
everyone told me not to do it, and it was the best decision I have ever made because I didn't want to cost headache or anything of banging the whole floor. It would have to be a huge disaster if I took everything out.
Let's just talk about a few more details, because that's the other thing about Gillian, how brilliant she is as a designer. Where did you find these?
So these were from Lori Frank before she died, our dear friend who had a gallery. And I bought these actually from her or Chloe. I can't remember.
Love.
But they're very special. Yes.
Okay.
So landscaping, my dear friend Nancy Lyons helped me, who's amazing landscaper. We've done many projects together. And her and I traded services. So like I'm help her with her house and she helps me with mine. And I just want to say these are my mom's sculptures, which are really important to me. And that's my dad. And then this is a beautiful sculpture she did here. And then the one at the end of the pool as well. So I wanted those to be like, because it's not a big house, I couldn't fit these guys inside.
Yeah.
But I felt like they have the perfect little spot.
Let's talk about this insane.
Okay, so did Chloe find? So I want to tell you, Chloe found these set for me. And I also have like a little bar cart and another table and all the loungers. I got all of this for $800.
$800.
And it's a very famous mid-century designer.
And you redid all of this.
So I found the same set on eBay for $22,000. Like he's like, and I'm not exaggerating. And of course my brain's not working right now, so I don't remember all the details. But and then I have a pickleball court, which we cannot go back there because that part's not done.
That's not done yet.
But I did plant all these trees, the bougainvillea. This was just a ratty garage that I made my design studio, and I added the fountain, which I love because I love the sound.
But this as well.
These was the only thing that was actually here. But I love these because it's just soft, and I just went with what felt right with the house, basically.
Should we look at the studio? Because it is very cool.
So this is my design studio. At some point, it'll be my painting studio because I paint as well.
So you did vinyl floors, actually.
So this is really interesting. So my contractor...
I would say no to that, but you made it look good.
Well, I'll tell you, this is where I was really on a hardcore budget. So my
probably the last thing.
So I was just going to paint the floors with epoxy, which is actually quite expensive, though.
Oh.
It's not like it's a cheap thing, but there were big cracks. There was big oil stains, and this was like a really old school garage. And so I kept the peak ceilings. I added the Eames light, which I'm obsessed with. This was original to the house that they built, and they put it in the dining room, but I had it painted. But the thing about the floors, I'll tell you, my contractor kept saying to me, trust me, it'll make all the difference in the world because there's a cork base. And so it gives a softness. And I got these at Floor and Decor at their clearance. They were like $3 or $4 a square foot. So for this whole space, it cost me like $700 for the floors. So it was worth it. And I usually hate these kind of floors. I would never do it in a house, ever.
No.
But it's like my garage, and I put all these beautiful rugs down.
And we painted. Let's talk about these.
These are Etsy. I mean, not Etsy. These are West Elm. They don't make them anymore, unfortunately.
West Elm people.
Yeah, I think it's all about the mix, the high, low.
Yeah.
But this is, I call it my folk art emporium as well.
Didn't you paint this?
I painted that, and that's my favorite Dutch paint. And I am literally obsessed with green on like on a level I can't describe. I would love everything to be green, but yeah.
Cinematographers love green too.
I'm obsessed with green.
But basically, it was an old cabinet that you painted a glossy green.
Yeah.
You changed these, and it looks like an incredible piece of art.
Everything's like that.
Eames light, where'd you get that?
Well, that's just like probably Modernica or Y Lighting or any of those places have. And this is like, I'm obsessed with folk art. So like all these things have a lot of history and stories behind them. But this room, oh, and this is my dad and this is my mom. This very famous costumer, Theodora Van Runkel, painted this painting of my mom in the house that I grew up in on Rose Avenue in Venice. And it is so my mom. And then I grew up with this of my dad in our house. Yeah.
This piece over here.
This was my mom. So my mom was a writer. She had many, many, many talents. And this is where she put all her screenplays. But this is where I have my wallpaper. So I have it all like animals, snakes, fish, forests, birds, flowers. So this is, and I have other stuff. Okay, so the kitchen was a massive redo. It was a really great 50s turquoise blue. And then there was a laundry room, and we took down a wall. So it was a tiny. And a part of me wanted to blow this all open and do the whole open thing. And I was just like, you know what? No, you need to have the showpiece. Like for me, I was obsessed with having just the stone and the shelf and just, having this sort of moment.
Beautifully staged, again, green, there's green, a shot of color. My least favorite color in the world is gray, but somehow it looks really, really good in here. Why did you have the oven come out like that?
That's just the size of it. But I am obsessed with my monogram stove. Again, it's like below like a Wolf or a Thermador. It's definitely more in a budget. And I like this way more than a lot of those because I just think it's absolutely beautiful.
So I love how you brought it all up. You've got your shelf here.
Yeah, this was a very big deal. It weighs like 1,000 pounds, but yeah.
You made this absolutely adorable.
This was original. These are the only original windows and they don't work. How sad is that? And I was like, why in the world did I not just do all new. Like this is the things that I kept don't work. So let's,
it's okay.
Yeah.
Do it later. One step at a time. You also have this really delightful dining room with this centerpiece that's
again, I got that, like, it wasn't even an estate sale. It was like a garage sale and they were demoing the house and I scored that.
Okay, so you have another glass table. You did a glass table in your living room. Is that to give it more size, or did you just fall in love with this?
Well, this is mastercraft, and I've been looking for this table for a long time. I have some friends who have this table, and I was very jealous. Mark and Boris, you've been to their house, the most amazing mid-century house on earth. But anyway, I was like, I found it, and I was like, I just have to have it. And because it's a small space, I know that wood grounds a space, but I felt like I wanted it to feel light and airy. And so I brought in wood in other ways. Like, this is West Elm. Oh my God.
So good.
And this is my friend Chad's painting, which is like one of my favorite things, which you'll have to look at that. And this is a bar cart from Chloe.
Oh, wait a minute. What beautiful glasses.
These were from you. Cheers.
Amazing. A gift from your realtor.
Which I loved more than anything. But so I sacrificed the big bar, but I still have my bar cart. I took one bathroom and I made it 2 bathrooms. So I added a powder room, and I feel like that, which don't look at the whole thing, but that made a huge difference in the space too. And then I put in a washer and dryer where the old closet was in the entry, and it just fits.
We have 2 bedrooms and a bathroom here.
So this is really important too, because this was a very narrow hallway and there was a old hot water heater in here. And so I pushed this back so this felt more expansive here, and it made all the difference in the world. And I am obsessed with really big art in smaller spaces because it draws your eye in. So, and this is one of my paintings. And then the bathroom was just a tiny little 40s bathroom. So the thing about this, which was a big deal, is that in this part of the house, I raised the ceiling, which for me made all the difference in the world because it makes the house look cute. I mean, the room looked much bigger. And I had to sacrifice a little closet and like a linen closet to get this bathroom to be the size that it is. And I really miss those closets, but it makes all the difference in the world because the bathroom before was only to here, and it had like a little vanity here and one of those tiny little showers that was connected to the bath. And it was horrific, and it had 2 little windows. So by raising this and adding a huge mirror, which I don't know if you want to see, it just makes this room feel very large and expansive. And it's also really important to know that, like, this is where I had to sacrifice. Like, I did $2 a square foot tile on the walls, but I wanted a lot of tile. And then this, you know, is probably like $20 a square foot, which is still reasonable in the design world, but that's where I had to go really high-low or medium-low, I would say.
And then you had your cabinet make, and then that's for you.
Yeah, and he's amazing. So I did splurge on the cabinets because in the end, I just felt like I could never get... Like, that's where I think things are important because they just fit perfectly. They're put in perfectly. And so, yes. But, like, and all of this stuff, this is Filridge, which is the most reasonable of all the lines, but to me it looks very high-end. Love it. And I kind of went for the 80s glam. Like, these I found on eBay for $50, thrift shop in Ventura $50, and these I'm obsessed with. They're lucite and brass. So I literally did the whole bathroom around them. It's incredible.
Okay, let's go to the primary.
Okay.
So we don't have a big closet that you can go in alone. But you've created closets. I added closets, and originally I wanted to push this whole space out, and we were going to put one. I wanted to so bad. I had suggested she do a walk-in. Say walk-in. We have to say a large closet that you could go into.
But I decided not to because number one, the cost. Yes. Oh, this was the other thing in this room. This was all orange carpet and pink walls. Delicious. And it had the original mid-century stuff, which I loved, but they took. But there was no French doors here. There was a slider door here that was really awkward, and everything was very low ceilings, very depressing. So this is where I splurge. This is another place that's really important to splurge. If you can raise your ceilings and you have a little house,
yeah, huge.
It literally makes all the difference in the whole entire world.
Well, you went with a queen-size bed here. Why was that?
Because I lived in a house that had a tiny bedroom before, and I just didn't make it bigger.
Yeah,
but I don't mind. I love it. Spatially, I think it works in here. And obviously, we did the closets here, but then I kept like the original closet here.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Okay, let's now go into, there's another bedroom, but you're using it currently as an office.
This is sort of my ensuite little space so that because I work all the time.
Yeah.
And so this is crooked.
And where did you get this?
Oh my God, these are Anthropologie. I love these. And Facebook Marketplace, I got this for $200. Make you holler.
Oh my God, so crazy.
And this is one of my favorite pieces of art that I have that is from an artist named Jim McGee, who just passed away, unfortunately. And that was his counter personality, Annabelle Livermore, painted that.
Incredible.
Yeah.
And then you added this here, bookshelves.
So this book, I had this built I would say 25 years ago for like $1,200, and it's gone to every house I live in, and I have painted it a million times. And then I just keep changing the knobs to whatever I want. But I love this piece. But these are really fun, just tone on tone.
Okay, so we're going to look at another bedroom. Remind me what this was.
Okay, so this was originally this big, long bathroom. There was actually more space here. So I kept this, which is just, I made this my linen closet. And then I pushed this space here. And then I created a great bathroom in here where you have a huge shower. And then I added the powder room.
And then this is the third bedroom here, which you might make this into your office.
So yes, because this is my son Max's room, but this room again had a door and all this crazy built-in furniture. I kept this. I still need a cushion for it. And this had a 70s window that had all these grids, and I took that door out. So we had to create something where it was safe.
Yeah.
But it made all the difference. So these all open up. The new windows and stuff really make a house. But the biggest thing is that, again, the raised ceilings, because this is a tiny room.
So when I'm with a buyer, because I renovate houses, I do make suggestions. And one is to open up. The thing that I think Gillian did so incredibly well here, which I always try to figure out how to help. I mean, with Gillian, she doesn't need that much help because she's a designer herself. But she has decorated the indoor from the outside. All of these beautiful colors, purple, pink, it's part of this room.
It had that for sure. The indoor and outdoor I wanted to all be
meld.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Beverly Hills Hotel outside.
So thank you, Gillian, so much.
Well, thank you for finding me this amazing house. Number one, I think you're a rock star.
Oh, thank you.
And I love you. Juliette, I must say, was very patient with me because I almost had a nervous breakdown renovating this house because I was so nervous. And I had to do it on such a tight budget. And you were very patient with me, so I appreciate it.
Well, I think the thing is that you are so incredibly talented. You were a painter and a photographer, and you're an interior designer now. And if anybody wants an incredible interior designer, I cannot say enough good things about Gillian. She did one of my houses that it's just incredible. And we'll go and look at her sister's house.
Oh my God, yes, Chloe collects, man.
We'll see
definitely.
So yes, if you want to know more about Gillian, go to her Instagram, which is
just Gillian Design.
Gillian Design. Thanks for joining us.